What's going on, YouTube? It's the Bushy Beard, and I'm back, and I'm bushier than ever. Right now, I got 20 weird things only British people do. I've seen British people react to American things that American people do. So I thought it would be kind of fun to kind of turn the tides and be an American reacting to British things, you know? Try to expand my horizons. I know bloody hell. That's about all I know in British. I said British. I don't have an accent. Sorry, guys. I know they say mental a lot. I don't know. At least I hear some people say mental a lot. I don't know if that's a thing. I know y'all use periods instead of commas for numbers. So like when we say 1 million, we put 1, 000, comma 000 dot 00. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you guys do like 1.000.000, comma 00. Maybe that's only a Spanish thing, but I thought a lot of other places use that instead of the commas, but I could be wrong. Anyways, we're about to get educated, so let's get into it. It's quite a long video, so stick with me.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to English with Lucy. Today I'm going to talk to you about 20 British quirks. Lovely word.
Quarks is a cool word. I say we use, instead of quirks, habits or oddities.
Meaning peculiar aspects in someone's behaviour or character. Okay. Essentially, I'm going to talk to you about some weird things that British people tend to do. Huge generalizations are going to be made here. I would love...
That's usually how these videos have to happen, because not every American does this or that or whatever.
Love for you to let me know in the comment section where you are from.
I am from America.
And if you
Florida.
relate to any of these, or if it is the exact opposite where you are from. Before we get started, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's with Lucy. I am a busy girl in UK announcing fun.
Unless they're sponsoring me, they don't get an ad on this channel.
One is that we put carpet in our bathrooms.
Now that is weird. That is weird to me. That's weird. We used kind of like hardwood tile because it's easier to clean up.
Not everyone does this,
That's
but
so weird.
I am currently living in a house that has a carpeted bathroom, and I will let you know that yes, we have had an overflow situation.
That is so weird, and for that exact reason, overflow, spillage, misaim.
With that toilet, and in a carpeted bathroom, it wasn't pretty.
Yes.
So this is quite an old-fashioned thing to do. We don't tend to do this anymore.
Okay,
but
good.
If you go to a house that hasn't been
I would judge you.
renovated or updated in a long while, or you go to the home of somebody who is very traditional, then yes, you might find carpet in your bathroom.
Although, it would feel nice on my feet. Not gonna lie.
We've got it here. It wasn't my choice, but it's here. My grandparents have got carpeted bathrooms as well. Number 2 is wahey. Okay, and this is something that we shout in a very, very specific situation, which is this: when somebody smashes a glass in a pub. The whole pub should shout, "Way!" Sorry, I had to re-record that. That was so loud. Now, I worked as a waitress for 3 years. I dropped a fair few glasses. We had to carry these drinks on tiny round trays that you had to balance. I couldn't do that. So I've had my fair share of way.
That's interesting. I think we clap. We don't say way. I think we clap.
In my lifetime.
I don't clap often, but sometimes I will.
Now, my mother's best friend forgot where she was once, and she did the wahey in Portugal. A restaurant in Portugal, some poor waiter dropped a load of glasses, they smashed everywhere, and there was just my mum's best friend there on her own shouting, wahey. Okay, The next one is number 3, which is excitement over fireworks on Bonfire night.
I think that's pretty much everywhere. I don't like fireworks personally. But I think a lot of people do. We do it here for 4th of July and New Year's Eve / day. So, I mean...
So on the 5th of November, all around the UK, we have bonfires, we let off fireworks. And we do this because it's the anniversary, the 5th of November, of a failed attempt.
Remember, the 5th of November.
To blow up, to
Parliament.
explode the Houses of Parliament. On this event, we burn...
Now that's weird. To celebrate a failed attempt of blowing up Parliament. That's weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little weird.
Guys, and these are dummy men used to represent the man who was going to blow up the Houses of Parliament. He was called Guy Fawkes, so sometimes we call it Guy Fawkes night as well. Now, on this night, or on the evenings surrounding this night, depending when it falls, if it falls on a Monday, then you might have it on the Saturday before, for example, people who have no experience or business dealing with explosives get incredibly excited. They go to fireworks shops, they do them in their garden, and it's just really dangerous. Mm-hmm. My dad always really enjoyed setting up the fireworks and setting them off in a neighbour's garden. And my mother was always absolutely petrified. She was so scared.
I love her accent. It's absolutely petrified. I think it's so cool. I love the British accent.
And my mother was always absolutely petrified. She was so scared
So
she was
good.
going to get hurt, and rightly so. And one day they played this terrible prank on my mother and all of the other worried wives. They let off a load of fireworks and then they came screaming, covered with soot, with black ashes all over their face, as if they had had the explosion in their face, and the women went crazy.
That's
and
great.
they were not best pleased to find out it was all a joke. Number 4, we think that a cup of tea will cure, or help at least, any bad situation.
I mean, we have our things over here that we think will do that as well. It's interesting. I know they have tea time. I don't know if they still have tea time in Britain, but I know tea is really big in Britain, whereas like coffee is really big here in America. Yeah, I know. When I say big, it's we probably drink more coffee than the British, and the British probably drink more coffee than Americans, but we still probably intermingle.
And a lot of us genuinely believe this. When something bad happens, our first response is, okay, I'll put the kettle on. If somebody's told you some
The kettle. I was like, what? What did put the what on?
devastating news and you don't know what to say, you can just say, that's awful, do you want a cup of tea? Number 5 is the
Interesting.
phrase, oh, go on then, okay?
I mean, we all have our phrases.
It's said like this, oh, go on then. This is something that we say when we are offered something that we know we shouldn't have.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the American equivalent. I don't know, like spill the tea. I don't know exactly one for one.
For example, a very unhealthy food, or maybe a cigarette.
We say when in Rome a lot. It's like when in Rome, do as the Romans. Kind of like YOLO-ish, but it's like when in Rome, do as. It's like when you're going out to eat at a special time or something, when in Rome.
Or a drink of alcohol. When somebody offers you something naughty or considered to be naughty, go on then. Go on then. I wonder if you have a similar phrase in your own.
Yeah, I mean, YOLO, when in Rome.
Language. I
Similar.
would love to hear it, because I think that's just such a key phrase in our vocabulary. Number 6, Colin the caterpillar cake. Need I say more?
Yes, please, because I have no idea. Colin the caterpillar cake. Colin the caterpillar cake. Never heard of it.
Yes, I need to say
Yes,
more
you do.
so that my viewers understand. Any British person watching this will understand Colin the caterpillar cake. They will probably feel excitement running through their veins, okay? A Colin the caterpillar cake is a long chocolate roll. I think that's what you call it. It's a roll of cake covered in chocolate with the face of a caterpillar on the end.
Okay.
And if it was your birthday at school, your mum would buy you a Colin the caterpillar cake. It was very easy to slice in lots of slices for all of the children. And if it was your birthday, you got to eat the face.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty cool little thing. I was trying to remember what big thing for me when it was my birthday at school. My mom would come and eat with me, like bring me fast food or something to school. Other than that, I don't really remember much else. I don't think we brought treats or anything.
I remember my first Colin the caterpillar cake. I remember being served the face of this cake, and I remember it being disgusting, but I ate it anyway because it was my birthday and because I'd earned it and I'd spent the whole year watching everyone else eat their caterpillar faces. These are typically sold in Marks and Spencer's, a shop here, food shop here, quite a posh food shop here, as far as I'm aware. And if you ever
Spencer's is far from a posh place here.
go to a British person's birthday party, I really think you should bring one. It will make them so excited, probably. Number
Or what the heck is this?
7, something else we find ridiculously exciting, way more exciting than it should be, J2Os.
I'm trying to think. J2Os. Maybe it's like an abbreviation for a place to eat. Because, crap.
Exciting, way more exciting than...
Because, we have J and the B. Or at least I've always called it J and the B, Jack in the Box. I kind of cheated. I guess it's a drink.
It should be J2Os. I don't know if you have these in other countries, but they are a non-alcoholic juice drink. Not juice, juice drink, okay? That means it's not 100% juice. The most famous flavour is orange and passion fruit. But the thing is, they came in glass bottles that were the same size as beer bottles. So when you were a child and you were at a party, an adult party, you could feel like an adult with a similar beer bottle. Very exciting. I remember taking it a step too far when I was younger and taking my parents' beer bottles that were green, Stella Artois always, and refilling them with apple juice.
Still probably a little alcohol left over in that.
And carrying that around with me, and completely confused when my parents were so angry with me and saying, no, Lucy, don't do that, don't do that. We also had another drink called Schlur, which was alcohol-free, like a sweet grape juice, fizzy as well. And I felt like such an adult when I had a glass of Schlur at Christmas. Do you have any drinks that you used to have as a child that made you feel grown up?
I mean, we have Welch's sparkling white grape juice, which is kind of like a champagne-ish kind of thing that we would drink on New Year's Eve. But it came in like a champagne bottle, and it was like nice and fizzy. Other than that, I don't think we really had any drinks that kind of made it look like an adult drink, to be honest. I don't know.
I bet there are. Number 8 is the phrase to pop, okay? Sounds a bit random, but we use pop in many phrasal verbs, and it's a very warm way of asking somebody to come or go somewhere. Do you want me to pop over? Do you want me to come over?
Okay. I like that.
It implies a short amount of time. Why don't we pop down the road for a coffee? Why don't we just quickly go down the road for a coffee?
See, when I was younger, I always made... Oh my goodness, why do I keep pressing these buttons? Okay. I always made like, I'll be there in 2 minutes. My phrase, even though, I mean, it's a literal phrase, I'll be there in 2 minutes. For me, and my friends finally figured it out eventually, I'll be there in 2 minutes means, oh, he probably hasn't even left his house yet. So that was mine.
Do you want me to pop over? Do you want me to come over? It implies
Yeah.
a short amount of time.
That's
Why
cool,
don't we
though. I
pop
like
down
that.
the road for a coffee? Why don't we just quickly go down the road for a coffee? I remember one of my Spanish students in London. They were au pairing for a British family, and they were so confused by the word pop, because you can pop around, pop.
We use pop here in America also, like soda. It's more of a northern Midwestern term is pop. You want to pop. Some people say soda. Some people say soda pop. I say soda or Coke. Coke generally refers to any soda. So it's like, hey, can I get a Coke? What kind? Can I get a Dr. Pepper? Kind of thing. Like it's a general term in the South to mean soda.
Up, pop down, pop over. Just treat it as come and go. Number 9. British people like to base the entire country's economic state on the price inflation of a frog-shaped chocolate bar called a Freddo. Yes, you heard that correctly. We base our economics on a frog-shaped chocolate bar.
That's weird.
Called a Freddo.
Cadbury's good food, good chocolate.
When we were young, Freddos were known to be the most affordable chocolate bar. They were a little frog, and they were typically, I think, 10p when I was young. I remember being given £1 to spend on sweets at a party. I could have one big packet of sweets, or I could have 10 Freddos. The logical answer is to go for all of the Freddos.
Mm-hmm.
However, every time I see the price of a Freddo rise, I am outraged, and the rest of the nation is too. I'm going to search now. Current price of Freddos. 25p. 25p. So what?
That's not too bad of inflation.
Okay, just going to have to pause there.
I guess
got
250%.
so angry about the price inflation of Freddos that I broke my microphone, and the next 3 videos have terrible audio.
That's
Damn you, Freddos.
That means that I could have bought 10 and now I can only buy 4. That is outrageous. Okay, number 10. Pigs in blankets.
Yeah, it's sausage within like a biscuit kind of thing, or a croissant.
We get so excited about this particular food called a pig in blanket. It is a little cocktail sausage wrapped in bacon.
Okay. I mean, it's a similar concept. Ours is wrapped in bread, bread substance. Okay.
And typically we only have them at Christmas. But there's no reason for this. We could have them every Sunday. But if you go to a pub and your Sunday roast comes with a pig in blanket, or
It's not a specific time frame that we have pig in blankets here. It's pretty much whenever, but it's not like something we eat regularly, if that makes sense.
some pigs in blankets, it's the best roast ever. We absolutely love them. But we only have them at Christmas. Why is that? Number 11, one of our most popular TV shows is a TV show of people watching TV shows. It's called Gogglebox. I imagine this concept has arrived in other countries now. They basically film families watching the TV highlights, and then they compile their witty remarks, and then we watch them. It's a...
I mean, I guess it's kind of like a reaction channel, right? I don't know if we necessarily have that here in America. I think Mystery Theater 3000 or 2000 might be the closest thing that we have to that on TV in America, but I would say reaction channels are pretty similar.
It's a very good program. It's very meta. Number 12, dog poo in Facebook groups. Okay, in the UK, and I imagine in lots of places in the world, we have Facebook groups for our local community. So I'm in quite a few of the surrounding villages and towns. And there is a new phenomenon, and it is the people that are getting so frustrated with people not picking up their dog poo, especially if it's on someone's property or on their front lawn. People are taking pictures of the dog poo and posting it
everywhere.
in these community groups. And I don't know about you, but I normally check my phone for the first time in the morning when I'm about to take my first bite of breakfast, normally porridge. And to have porridge approaching my mouth, opening my phone and seeing a massive dog poo is just not ideal. So now people are rebelling against the dog poo posters. And there's just huge civil unrest online at the moment. Those who want to shame the dog poo leavers and those who want to shame the dog poo posters. It's very complex. I hate dog poo. It's absolutely horrendous. But I also don't want to see it all over my Facebook timeline. I've seen enough.
I feel you.
We know it's a problem. Number 13, drinking in rounds, okay? When we go on a night out with a group of friends, we drink in rounds, which means if there are 5 of us, instead of everyone buying their individual drinks.
I mean, that's similar to American culture as well. I think it's probably not as prevalent here that we buy kind of like one, I buy a round, you buy a round. But a lot of people are like, hey, next round's on me, and then, like that. I'm not a big drinker, so I don't never necessarily ever have to worry about any of this. But it's not necessarily something that happens a lot. But like if you get good news, you're like, yeah, next round's on me, kind of thing.
One person will buy 5.
Or if you get a raise, you're buying the rounds.
5 drinks, then the next person will buy 5 drinks. I'm sure many of you are aware of this concept. I'm sure it has a different name where you're from. But the very British thing to do is to shout, whose round is it, when you know exactly whose round it is, and you just are trying to make them actually buy their round, because there are a lot of people who will participate in rounds, wait till last and hope that they won't actually have to buy that round, thus escaping with a lot of free drinks and a very full wallet, and it's very annoying.
That would be where the biggest problem is the person who doesn't buy. That's tough.
It can be considered quite passive aggressive. So instead of saying, it's your round, go and buy your round, just shouting, whose round is it, is a much easier way to avoid confrontation. However, my fiance, he said at university there was one guy who was so bad at buying or paying for his fair share of drinks that they actually grabbed him, marched him to an ATM, a bank, took his card out and forced him to take out the money. Some people are just what we would call here
cheap.
Tight.
Okay, y'all say tight, we say cheap. Or tight wads,
If somebody's tight, they don't like spending a lot of money. Number 14 is we can't always be bothered to use an umbrella. It rains so often that unless it is absolutely pummeling it down, I don't mind.
I mean, I don't ever really use an umbrella much anymore. I'll just run, or I walk most of the time just because running doesn't actually keep you drier. I don't know. It's weird science. But yeah. I don't use one, but we use umbrellas over here a lot.
I'm getting a bit wet. I remember when I was in Spain, the minute the first drop hit anyone's hair, they would whip out their umbrella. Everyone had it. Everyone knew the weather. I just never knew how people kept track of whether it was going to rain that day or not, but it was more of a rare occasion there, and it's very, very common here. So I did used to walk into my classrooms soaking wet sometimes, just, normal.
YOLO.
Number 15.
Oh, what was it? I don't remember what that phrase is that she said. Dang.
We don't put fridges in the eggs.
Wait, we don't always put our eggs in the fridge.
Number 15. We don't always put our eggs in the fridge.
That's weird.
I don't know if this is weird for you. I remember going abroad and seeing fridges in the eggs. Fridges in the eggs. I remember going abroad and seeing eggs in the fridges. I remember some fridges arriving with egg holders. I thought that was so weird. No, I like a nice room temperature egg. Oh, yes.
Well, when you cook it, that's usually what happens to it. I guess maybe she means like hard-boiled eggs. Yeah, we keep our hard-boiled eggs in the fridge too. You can warm it up if you want.
That sound like an innuendo. 16. This one goes without saying. We are obsessed with the weather. Even if it's so boring, you know, oh, it's slightly grey and windy today. We will tell you that. It's a bit grey and windy, isn't it?
I mean, everybody does it. It's small talk, you know. I think that's something that's around everywhere. Like right here, it is 80 degrees and beautiful. Let's see. Yep, 80 degrees and sunny. 42 was the low. 80 degrees is the high.
It does change so much that it is quite, you know, entertaining. Sometimes we don't have that much in our lives to talk about, so the weather is just a really good one to go for. Number 17, scone or scone. Okay, this
scone. I guess it is just based on probably where you're from is how you pronounce it. I've always said scone.
This is the conundrum. And actually, there's a part 2 to this conundrum as well. There is a baked good, which I call a scone. But
Bad juju. No, it's scone. I've always said scone. But I think it's probably just based on where you're from. I know a lot of words here in America are different. They're pronounced differently based on where you're from. It's probably just a general place.
Other people call it a scone, and there's a big fight, a big divide in the UK about whether it is a scone or a scone. I don't want to get involved in that. I'm not going to say scone is wrong, but I do prefer scone. Scone! Damn it!
Hey, Freudian slip. She prefers scone.
The other part of this conundrum is the order in which you put toppings. Typically, we serve scones or
I don't
scones,
usually have
with jam and clotted cream. They are absolutely to die for. If you come to the UK, make sure you have an afternoon tea with scones or scones. Now, I always put clotted cream first, then jam, but some people will swear you have to put...
I don't see how it could be scones. Unless you're saying that the E is maybe like silent, scone. Scone or scone. Scone. I don't know.
Jam first, then the clotted cream. I'm not going to tell you which is right. You're just going to have to try it out for yourself, but I think logistically, cream first, then jam. Number 18, we are terrible at ending conversations.
That's everywhere.
Honestly, this is the most annoying thing ever. There is a huge culprit of this, and it is my fiancé Will. Typically, when we want to end a conversation, we will say, right, and kind of, I need to be heading off, or I must get a move on, or I need to get going. But for some reason, some people really struggle with this. And when you have two people that struggle with ending conversations coming together, well,
never ending conversation.
Go on for eternity. It's really, really troubling.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Come and say hello. Admit to your problem. This is Will.
Holy cow.
Don't worry about his face. You know your problem.
That she's sitting and he's not? Or are they both standing and she's just that much shorter than him?
You're almost perfect.
Was it ending conversations?
It was ending conversations.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
It's fine if you're talking to someone who can end the conversation, but it's when...
It's nice to get out, isn't it?
I'm almost done.
Cool.
Number
she
19,
has to be sitting.
we really overuse the word sorry.
I do too. It's just one of those things that for me, it's something I always use.
This was further solidified in my mind last night. We watched Bridget Jones, and there was the scene where Mark Darcy or Colin Firth and Hugh Grant were fighting, and they were knocking over things on people's tables in a restaurant, and they were still apologising. We just can't help it. I find myself apologising for apologising too much.
Yeah.
Number 20, the final weird thing that British people do is consume a lot of pre-made sandwiches.
I do too. I mean, I think some of this is like, she might think it's weird, but a lot of these things happen all over. Maybe I'm just British. Maybe I was born in the wrong country, you know? No, I'm American through and through. But I think a lot of it is probably happens a lot more than she thinks. So
It's a bit of a random one. But there is something very exciting about going on a short car journey and stopping off for lunch.
Okay, now. Okay, that's what she means by no, I don't do that. I thought she meant like Subway or something like that, but no, I don't do those.
And lunch will be a pre-made sandwich in a box. You can get them from petrol stations, or you can get them from...
That's what we call, if you need to, release your bowels, we get stuff from the gas stations here.
From supermarkets. I know Tesco does something called a meal deal, where for a certain amount of money, you get a sandwich, a snack and a drink, and people absolutely love it, and they try to get the most value from that meal deal. They say you can tell a lot about a person from what they choose for their meal deal. But I've travelled to a couple of countries and I've never seen the sheer amount of options for pre-made sandwiches that we have in the UK. It's crazy. Every flavour, every filling, so creative as well. Prawn is my favourite, prawn mayonnaise. Absolutely love it. The Christmas range is in full swing at the moment. We have turkey and stuffing sandwiches. Awesome. I saw a duck l'orange sandwich the other day. I wouldn't say it's something I...
Alright, that's weird.
Recommend. Actually, if you want to have a British experience when you come over to the UK, go to a petrol station, buy a sandwich, then you will feel like a Brit. Right. On that note...
Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments other British things or British videos that I should watch. So that way I can continue on this journey. I thought this was fun. It was pretty cool. Anyways, y'all, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If not, you can hit the thumbs down. It's not going to hurt my feelings, so you can hit the thumbs up because it's not going to hurt yours. Or you can just pop back in for another video one day. I hope each and every one of y'all are having an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, until next time, YouTube, smile like you mean it from the Bushy Beard.